Cancer, happy December 2017. This is Dark Dove Tarot. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm going to shuffle the cards a few more times. As you know, I always pre-shuffle, but I like to add a little more energy before we get started. So, hope that 2017 has treated you well, and I hope 2018 treats you even better. Again, my reads are general, so check your sun, moon, and rising, as some months those may resonate with you more than others. It's really important to keep in mind that these are a general read, because sometimes your sun, moon, or rising sign will resonate with you more than others. Let's go ahead and get started here. Sorry, my cards were kind of falling off the table. I hope, again, everybody is doing fantastic. My reads are based on love. Anybody who's single, looking to reconcile. So, majority of my reads are for singles, but I do touch base on reconciliation as well. As you know, I move pretty fast. I have a lot to say, a lot I want to get out without taking up too much of your time. Super important, too, that I mention, you know, if you want to like, subscribe, comment. It's always important because I'm going to shuffle the second deck to get your theme card. But 2 reads ago, I asked you guys if you prefer the cards down or up. And that month, everybody said down. Then last month, everybody started saying up. So December is going to be kind of my deciding factor. I'm fine either way. These cards are kind of stiff. I'm fine either way. I mean, I'm even happy to rotate if you prefer, but it's really important that you let me know what you like, because I'm doing this for you ultimately, and whatever's going to make you the happiest with it, you know, is what I prefer. So let's get started. Your theme of the month is the Fool, which is good. This is new beginnings. This is potential. This is being fearless, coming out confidently. So I don't know about you, Cancer, but one of my signs is Cancer, my sun sign actually, and I'm very much a Cancer, and I don't know about you, but there's been like a shift, and I don't know if it's because Mercury is going into retrograde, I believe on the 3rd of December, so we know that things are coming up and changing, but I don't know. I've had definitely a lot of shifts in energy in my life. I don't know about you. But again, having the Fool come up as the theme of the month card, I'm perfectly happy with, because the Fool is the beginning of the tarot deck, right? So this is the first card. It's 0, as you can see. So it is the beginning of starting something new, or starting a new cycle, or starting, you know, new beginnings, new opportunities, and kind of approaching things fearless. So whether you're single or looking to reconcile, this is definitely a new beginning for both. Doesn't even have to be new. I shouldn't say that, because if you're looking to reconcile, well, it would be considered a new beginning if, you know, that's what's in the cards for you. So let's see what we have going on this month for December, Cancer 2017. All right, so your first card is your current position coming into the month, and you have the Ace of Cups. And I laugh just because that's the beginning of the Cups, which is the beginning of water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So definitely some beginnings, some new things coming into play here, Cancer. If you're single, this is new beginnings of love, new beginnings of friendship, excitement. This is one of the best cards of the deck. The next card coming would be the 2 of Cups, which is, people consider the twin flame or soulmate card. So not a bad place to start December, Cancer. And some of you, I'm sure, are going to be like, Dark Dove, I don't even know anybody, I'm not talking to anybody. The pretense of this is that's what you believe in, that's what you're manifesting, that's what you're going to put out into the universe, and of course, that's what you're hoping to receive back. So the Ace of Cups is your mindset, it's your current position, plus, I mean, keep in mind, I'm also doing this, you know, 5 days before the beginning of December, so hey, maybe tomorrow, no, but anyways, if you're single, this is definitely a good mindset to be in, it's a good place to be in. It says that you're balanced, you know what you want, you know what you're looking for, and ultimately, you're ready for it, you're ready for love. If you're looking to reconcile, this is also a beginning, but this could be friendship, or this is excitement. Maybe you're talking to somebody and the communication's been open. So this person that you separated from, and for some of you, it's been a while. I don't feel like this person is somebody you haven't talked to in like a week or two. This is somebody you haven't talked to in like 5 months. And they're either communicating with you or you're communicating with them. But there's a little bit of excitement here. Now, you're not fully ready to come out of your shell and, you know, embrace it. But you're thinking, hey, there might actually be an opportunity here. Either they came back kind of approaching everything differently and it seems like a new perspective, or they're going to. You know, this is a big opportunity if it is somebody you're looking to reconcile with. And I have to apologize. I don't think I've apologized to any other sign yet, but I have a rat. I train rats, or I have in the past. And recently my son talked me into adopting 2 baby girl rats that were, they're teeny tiny babies that were going to be, you know, kind of tossed to the side or whatever. And I was asked to take them in, and they're running around in their cage right now, and there's like a little wheel in it, although I take it out when they get older. Anyways, so you're going to hear that throughout the read because I can hear it. So I'm assuming you can hear it. So if you hear squeaking or like running, it's 2 baby girl rats that I adopted so that nothing bad would come to them. And they are very hyperactive in the evening. So bear with me on that. Hopefully you can hear me over that. You'll hear them kind of squawk at each other too sometimes. And they're actually like 2 rooms over, so I'm surprised I can hear them as loud as I can. But they're little, they're having fun, so what can you do? The ace, if you're looking to reconcile, like I said, could be a new beginning with this person. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, like I said before. So, sorry, goodness. So, I feel like this is a new opportunity. And maybe it's somebody you've already moved on from, that you've already started dating, but they've always been kind of in the back of your mind, you know, kind of in the back pocket, that if they ever came back, you'd entertain that idea. And I feel like you may hear from them this month. I feel like for some reason, the water signs have kind of had this invitation coming to them from somebody from the past. All right, the next card you have is anything on your mind coming into the month of December. So anything, hopes, fears for the month of December coming in that may help or hinder the Ace of Cups. And we don't want anything hindering that because it's beautiful. And you have death. And no, it's not a literal death. Nobody's dying. I don't want to say that because I'm sure somebody's going to message me and be really upset and say somebody passed away. And for that, I apologize. But this is more of, especially because it's internal, this is change, transformation. This is rebirth. So you're definitely changing, Cancer. You're changing your attitude on love. You're changing your faith in love, your hope in love. Maybe it's nostalgia of the holidays. Maybe it's not. But this has, and these are actually very beautiful together, right? Because with change brings new beginnings. So if you're changing the way you feel about love, the way you think about love, the way you approach love, if you're single, if you're dating, I feel like some of you aren't even doing the dating site. Some of you are just kind of taking your time. You're hoping that maybe it manifests more tangibly, or like through a friend, or, you know, maybe you're going to go to a get-together or a holiday party or something, and you're going to meet people through other ways. And I feel like you've been kind of... you still believe in love, and it's heightened, and something inside of you has changed, almost like you're ready to accept it. But you also know what you need to do too, because let's face it, you know, it always takes 2 people for a relationship to work. And so I think you've been working on yourself and making changes, and you're coming out, you know, almost rebirthed in, okay, I'm ready. Like I said I wanted X, Y, and Z, but maybe I wasn't acting like that's what I wanted. Maybe, you know, whether you're female or male, as a Cancer, you were, you know, I want somebody who doesn't just want me for my body, or doesn't want me just for physical, right? But then you'd have those physical relations with them. And you know who you are. There's people out there who understand exactly what I'm talking about. You would have a physical relationship with them, but then wonder why they weren't wanting to proclaim their love for you, right? And not all of you, but... and it doesn't have to be just the physical. It could be too that you were like, well, I want to take things slow. And then you were like ready to plan, you know, where you guys were going to live together, if that makes sense. So I think you're coming in a little more even keel, going, okay, yes, I've had some crappy ass people entertain the idea of dating me or wanting to be with me, but at the same time, I understand now that maybe I was giving the wrong people signs that I was interested. And now you're kind of like holding out for what's good for you. If you're looking to reconcile, this is, you know, these go side by side, right? Because they're beginnings. So this is either death of an old relationship and you've decided that you're going to move on and you're not going to reconcile with this person, or it's the rebirth of something that could be very positive. Like I said twice with the ace, I think that for a lot of you, this is somebody that you almost are over, or that you are over, and you've been dating and maybe have moved on and, you know, met quite a few people, but you've always had them in the back of your mind that if they were to approach you, you would be willing to entertain the idea. And for some of you, you know, you guys got together, broke up, got together, broke up, and you kind of feel like now is the time. So it's very interesting. It almost feels like reconciliation for you is more of the past coming back, and it would be a very positive aspect right now. The next card you have is your distant past, over the past like 5-10 years. You know, could be as early as childhood. And you have the 4 of coins. Coins or pentacles. And the 4, I always read the past card together for singles and anybody looking to reconcile, because it's generally before, you know, I mean, these are relationships past. And I always bring it up because I want you to focus on the good that came from the past, and then remember not to get in the bad habits of the past, right? So the 4 of coins is somebody who's miserly, somebody who is very frugal and possessive. And this tells me that either you were in a very possessive relationship. This screams, I don't know if you ever saw the movie The War of the Roses, but, and I don't even know if that, I'm pretty sure that's the name of the movie, where it's like they love each other so much, they hate each other so much, and in the end, I think, you know, it's like tragic or whatever. But when I see this in the past position and I think of the possessiveness, yes, it could be frugality. It could be that you grew up in a home, you know, living in, and you had times where you lived in the car and you didn't know where the next meal was going to come from. And so you focused on never being in that position. So maybe you've gone for men or women who have money, or men or women who have potential to make good money. You know, want to keep up with the Joneses and have the nice things. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we are, you know, made from our past, and we often either try and change the bad or reciprocate the good, right? And so for some of you, it could be that your relationships have been based on monetary value, or based on finding somebody who could give you something, you know, that maybe you hadn't had before. You watched your parents struggle a lot and you vowed that you wouldn't be there. Or maybe you had a single parent and they dated and you watched things, you know, take a turn for the worst. Or, you know, you just didn't have those types of things and you swore that you would never put your kids in those situations, etc. But the other thing with this is a possessiveness that is so, it's like at one point you loved somebody so much that it was almost like an obsession. And it was with them too. So I'm not saying that Cancer was like obsessed or possessive about this person. It was a two-way street. So it was like you guys couldn't get enough of each other. But it was like the passion was so deep and so heartfelt that when you broke up, it was that heartbreak, that sick to your stomach, can't get out of bed, that can't breathe, everything hurts. Like it's literally like you can feel your soul was dampened by this breakup. But it was so strong that like when things, you know, when fights happened or whatever, it was just this dramatic chaos because you both felt so deeply. So it's good to find a relationship like that, but it's not good if it's going to, you know, possess your both of your lives, if that makes sense. Like if you break up, you can no longer work. You can no longer take care of the kids. You know, it's good to have a happy medium. But it's very interesting because some of you out there just had this relationship that was so passionate and so powerful, but it was also like draining the life out of you both, if that makes sense. The next card you have is your immediate past, over the past few weeks, past a month or two, and you have the World. So the World is major arcana along with the Fool, and it's very interesting that they're here, and this is the theme of your month, because the Fool is 0, starting a new chapter, starting again, starting over with the Ace, death, the rebirth, And the World is the end. This is the end of the major arcana, so it's the end of the cycle. So your theme is the beginning, you're starting off beginning, and your past, recent past, is the ending. So the recent past fits swimmingly into this because it's a change, it's a rebirth, it's a death of something, it's a death of the way Cancer feels about love, it's the death of losing the faith and losing the hope, and you now have the rebirth of that. And ooh, I just got chills really bad because this is like, it's almost overwhelming seeing this because, right, we all try and start anew. And I think if you're single, you've been trying to start again. And that's what you want, right? You want to find that person, even just to be friends with, and then develop into a relationship, and then move on to marriage, or whatever the end goal is for you, or what you want. And so I think the hard part is we want it, we say we want it, we think we're doing what we want to get there, we think we're making changes, we think we're going to progress, and then we don't. Sorry, I'm coming down with a cold a little bit, so I may go from sounding plugged up to not sounding plugged up. But the World is a completion. It's a fulfillment. It's a belonging. So all of a sudden, I feel like if you're single, you feel like you belong in love. You feel like you belong with somebody. You feel like you belong with this person who's going to come along, and it's going to be like a bubble, and you're going to be in it, and the two of you are going to be in it, and maybe you guys have kids that you bring to the relationship, or maybe you have pets that you bring to the relationship. You know, whatever it is, this is you having this. But the importance of this World the past few weeks is that you've discovered, Cancer, that you now know love fits you and you're ready for it. This Ace says, bring it on. And this World says, I've completed the cycle of physical lust. I've completed the cycle of letting people treat me like frickin' crap. I've completed the cycle of having the single mentality, or not, I'm never going to find anything, and losing hope and losing faith. And you're just not going to do it anymore. And you're not going to settle for being the second fiddle, or the grass is always greener. You know what you deserve. You know what you want. And it's like you're finally saying, I belong in love. If you're looking to reconcile, this is a completion of, I think you've had a few completions. Honestly, Cancer, I feel like maybe you've dated, broke that off, dated, broke that off, or dated, broke that off, but you've still had this person in the back of your mind. And somehow they're coming back. Something's starting over. They're going to contact you. They're going to ask you to, you know, get back together, or they're going to ask you to at least have a conversation and talk. So this cycle of bad dates, trying to keep busy all the while this person's been on your mind, is going to stop. Now, it may come that you guys go and talk, or you chat, and you realize, no, it's not for you. And then the first completion will be that you're back in the single life, and you're okay with that. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few weeks, next few months. So this generally is about 3 months long for the distant future, and you have the Lover. So we can just end the read now. I hope you have a great year. I'm just kidding, or a great beginning of the year. But this is generally like through February or so is when I do the distant future. We're talking over the next few months, and you have the Lover's card. So in essence, you're going to have some beginnings, and then the next 2 or 3 months, the Lovers, which is beautiful, right? And Cancer, I'm kind of happy about this because I feel like the past couple of reads have just been like, we're going in circles. Like it's the same thing, and there's no great beginning, and you're not fully like feeling vested in love, and you're not fully feeling vested in yourself, and you need to make changes, and even your mindset has been kind of all over the place. And now to see the Lovers in the distant future is like fantastic, because again, but I think it's because you're ready for it. Like it belongs in you. Love belongs on you, Cancer, right now, like a really nice Armani suit, or really nice Dolce dress or something. I'm not really big into designers, so I could have totally just mucked that up. But just love looks good on you right now, Cancer. And I think you know that, and you're starting to feel it. And if you haven't felt that yet, give it a week or two, because I'm sure people are going to start messaging me. I don't feel it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have faith in love. I get it, right? But then I have people who message me saying, you know, I don't understand. Nothing ever happened. And I'm like, because, like, ultimately, I could talk and talk and talk, but if you don't have that faith, hope, and inspiration, and you're not putting that in the universe, you're not going to get it back. And yeah, you know what? We all go through periods where we're like, screw this. I'm tired of this. Whatever. Like, don't feed me a line. But then we all have these times that are magnanimous. So do we want to ensue a position of feeling fantastic, or do we want to continue to take a nosedive into the woe is me's? It's up to you. But the Lovers being here is beautiful. This is love, pairing, it's duality, finding somebody who has the same values, the same morals, the same, they're encompassing everything you want, and you're encompassing everything they want. There's not really much more to say. I mean, the card says it all, right? But Cancer, I think it's beautiful, and I think it's time. If you're looking to reconcile, I really strongly believe that this is somebody that you've had in the back of your mind. It's not, yes, some of you may have been pondering over this person, but I feel like you were on the cusp of like getting over this person. You were just like there and getting over them. And not that you weren't over them, because I feel like you were dating and you had already kind of completed the cycle of knowing that there's a possibility you'd never get back together with them, but they're coming in, Cancer. They're back. The Lovers are back. So it's a positive thing if that's something that you want to entertain, if you're looking to reconcile. The next card you have is your immediate future. So over the next few weeks and throughout the month of December, very interesting too, because you have these cups, which I would say it could be a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer that you're talking to, or excuse me, meeting, or you know, that's involved. But I really feel like this is you here. And it's interesting too, because the Lovers is Gemini. Sorry, I'm clogging up here, but the Lovers is Gemini, so it could be a Gemini, could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So a lot of possibilities here. I really don't feel strongly that it's a particular sign, but we'll see what we have coming forward. So the Queen of Cups, if you are single, this is mystery, it's otherness. So the next few weeks, I think you're feeling exactly what I'm talking about. Like, love fits you, it looks good on you, and you're ready, and you can't wait to see what happens next. So I think you're going to meet somebody really organically. I don't think this is going to be like an online dating thing. I think it's going to be through friends, maybe through school, maybe through, like, maybe you're in college and you're taking a break and going home, and you're going to see old friends. It could be, you know, it could even be like the UPS guy or gal coming into your work. I know that sounds weird, but I just pictured like a FedEx, or because all of a sudden all these new packages need to be delivered, especially here in the US, because, you know, Amazon's taking over the world, and Christmas gifts and all this stuff. So anyways, the Queen of Cups is all about mystery and otherness. I think you're going to meet somebody who's intriguing and you're not quite sure, or maybe somebody's going to approach you and they're going to start talking to you. You could be in line like at getting coffee or something, or at the gas station, and somebody just talks to you and it sparks your interest, and maybe you're like, oh, I'm in this business, or I know about that, and you guys exchange cards or telephone numbers, and you're kind of like, eh, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, hey, okay, what's going on here? So the Queen is about something higher than yourself. It's the universe pointing you in the right direction. So pay attention, Cancer. Pay attention this month. Pay attention. If you're looking to reconcile, this says that you felt like you're not quite sure why things didn't pan out before, because you both cared about each other, you both loved each other, and you really don't have a good solid answer. You feel like that it's like, well, we loved each other and we cared about each other, so why the hell didn't it work? Or why did we give up trying? Or we had this like soul connection, so why didn't we continue? But I feel like you're gonna want answers in the beginning on that when you guys communicate, but don't, because I think that delving too much into the what ifs or why didn't or whatever will ruin that hope or dampen that inspiration. And I think it's super important that you make sure that you cherish the communication. And I'm not saying, Cancer, that it's going to happen and you guys are going to... Okay, well, I mean, I could say the negative of this and then stare at the Lover's card all day, right? But I can't say, hey, that you guys are going to make it happen. I think you're just going to have the excitement of reconnecting, and then you need to take it from there. I know I'm being kind of weird, always erring on the side of caution, because I don't want to be like, hey, it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be roses and everything's going to be fantastic, because that's not life all the time. It does happen, but it's not life on a regular basis. But staring at the Ace of Cups, staring at the Lovers and the World, it's really hard for me to dampen anything, to be completely honest. Okay, the next card you have is anything tangible throughout the month of December. It could be one day, it could be the beginning, the middle, the end. This is just something you'll see, you'll feel, you'll run into somebody, something like that. This is always something external, not something that you're feeling inside. And you have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is very interesting coming in here, because that means that there's some sort of defeat here. So I'm going to preface this in saying, Cancer, if you're single and you meet somebody and you think that they would be really good for you, don't assume that you're going to jump right into this. They may have some loose ends or something they're dealing with, or that they need to tie up. They may have things going on in their life, and you may not know. So you can't feel like if all of a sudden you meet them and they say, oh, I really like you, and oh, we're getting along or whatever, and you don't hear from them for 3 or 4 days, or he or she says, oh, I'm got a business trip, you can't feel defeated if it doesn't go exactly the way you want. Now, I know very well that you do that, and you know you do that we get our hopes up, and then if it doesn't go the way we want because we're all of a sudden making an emotional connection with it, even at an early stage, give them time to keep up, because it could be an air sign, because Swords is air, and like I said, the Lovers is Gemini. So, I mean, it could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, and they're not as quick to bounce into the romance, or they're also not as aware of how crabs, can have that. They can either have that hard shell or the mushy underbelly, which if you're showing them the mushy underbelly and they're not reciprocating, they may not understand how important it is for you to have that reassurance. And it doesn't mean that they don't like you. So what I'm trying to say is, if you meet somebody or you meet a few people and there's possibilities there, if it doesn't go exactly the way you want, don't assume it's a non-victory or that something different's happening. I'm just asking you to have patience, which is really hard because water signs do not have a lot of patience when it comes to matters of the heart or their feelings or their emotions. If you're looking to reconcile, it's the same thing, right? Let's say you guys communicate and let's say everything sounds good. If they're not jumping into texting you 5 times a day like they did a year ago, or like they did 6 months ago or 2 years ago, you cannot assume that's a Pyrrhic victory, like a false victory. You have to give it time. This isn't defeat. We're just, because love looks so good on Cancers right now, and water signs in general, we can't ruin it with having a defeatist attitude. Let it take its course. Let it happen. I know it's exciting. I can feel it. You can feel it coming into December. Even if you haven't met anybody, you can feel it. But let it take its course, because we don't want to get back into that negative Nancy that a lot of us have been feeling for the past few months, right? The next card you have is anything internally. So how you're going to be feeling. Gosh, and you have cups coming up here all over the place. Excuse me, you have the King of Cups. And you have the Ace, King, Queen. I mean, we could be playing poker right now. So the King of Cups, if you're single, this is a great card because this is feeling romantic and fanciful. And again, this is internal. So this is how you're feeling inside. You're ready for it. This is perfect with this card. This is perfect with this card, this card, this card. I mean, this is all amazing. And like I said before, I really don't think you've been emphasizing dating. Or if you have, it's been very slight. You haven't been jumping into the water. You haven't been just, like, hey, there's a lot of fish in the sea. You've been kind of like, okay, well, keep those to yourself because I only want, the good ones. And so this is you saying, okay, I'm going to feel dreamy and romantic, but you've got to be patient, because I really worry that some of you, because you're feeling this way and it's so overwhelming and we're about to have the planetary change, that if it doesn't go the way you want, you're going to feel like giving up, and you really just cannot, especially having something so good coming up like that. But again, the King is somebody who is feeling whimsy, and you know, it's the holidays here in the US, you know, there's always something whimsical this time of year. And so you may be thinking in your head, oh, we could have dates on carriage rides and all this stuff, which is great. Just be realistic about it. If you're looking to reconcile, it's very similar. And, you know, I said to, who did I say this to? I think Gemini, same thing, which is very interesting that they're coming up here in your read. You know, I was letting Gemini know it's hard because we all want to know if we're going to get back together with our ex. But if you think about it, the reason I started doing the singles and reconciliation together is because technically, if you're looking to reconcile, you're single. So you're technically single. You're not, your heart may still be with that person, but you're single. So this says, look, you can dream about getting back together with this person, and they contacted you and you're feeling amazing. And the possibilities are there, right smack dab in this read, right? But this is also saying, if it doesn't work, you're fine, because something else is coming along, because you've got all these beginnings. So if you're looking to reconcile, I feel like Cancer right now, it's saying you can't lose. All right, the next cards you have are your hopes and fears for the outcome. So anything you're feeling internally at the end of December. And you have the Emperor and your actual outcome. And the outcome is strength. Okay, so the Emperor is somebody who is very traditional. They're looking for structure, which singles, this is, I mean, I think exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for something stable. Yes, you want the lovers, you want the passion, you want that fire. But at the same time, you're also wanting it in a way that it's going to be long lasting. It's not just lust. It's not based on just that passion or just that romance. You want something where you guys do end up in that bubble, where you do build some sort of life together. If it starts as friendship and moves into, you know, a serious relationship, or if it starts as dating, moves into relationship, then marriage, whatever it is, you really are looking for the traditional sense of relationship. Somebody that you talk to on a regular basis, somebody that you date on a regular basis, somebody that you eventually build into new levels and new steps with this person. So the Emperor is saying at the end of December, you're feeling very strongly that you're going to get there. And you may even start taking those steps of, you know, doing the Facebook relationship thing. I don't know. It's important to some people. I don't really keep up. There's certain things that are going to kind of take you out of single status. And not necessarily, it could just be dating. It's not necessarily going to be huge commitment. Although to get to this, you know, it's probably going to happen a little faster than you're anticipating. But for some, it may take a few months. It could take 6 months. But you're definitely going to meet somebody who's going to take that journey with you. And that's what the Emperor is representing. If you're looking to reconcile, this is about kind of, you're going to have to be very careful with this one, because I want to say, hey, this is a great thing that they're coming back into your life and this is wonderful. But I see you rearing your head a little bit. I see you kind of rearing your back going, whoa, 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 whoa. If you're coming back for booty, it's not happening, or whatever the case. So make sure they're in it for the right reasons, and make sure you're in it for the right reasons. Make sure that excitement and those butterflies are not because that was the last serious relationship you had and it's easier to get back into the thick of something like that than to be alone. It's like I've said before to almost every sign. It's easier to say it's easier just to say you have something than to be alone and not have anything, if that makes sense. So you want to make sure you're not getting back into this because it's like you guys were together before, and so it almost feels like traditional, like we get back together, and you don't want to step into the same patterns without making sure it's actually a new beginning. However, it looks very good that there's new beginnings here. the next card you have is the Strength card. And if you're single, this is going to take a lot of strength. Look, Cancer. This is you wanting a love. This is somebody who's going to put you out of your comfort zone. This is somebody who may not, you know, they may not be as emotional as you. They may not be a water sign. They may be, you know, an earth sign, a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, somebody who's not as good at showing their emotions. So the Strength is saying, be patient. You will get to this. Also, control what you can control. If you can control it, great. If you can't, let the universe take the wheel. This is also believing in yourself. So having this defeatist attitude is not believing in yourself. You must believe in yourself. You must be fearless to make this happen. If you start going into that 20 question mode and sticking yourself back in that shell going, well, it's not going exactly how I thought, or they're not texting me as much as I'd like, or whatever, like, we can be our own worst enemy. We can have that paranoia that, you know, things are different than they are. And when you're dealing with all different signs, like earth signs, for instance, right? Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. When you're dealing with signs like that, they're those people who are like, well, if I tell you that I like you, it means I like you. I'm not going to write little roses. I'm not going to send you hearts, or I guess I should reverse that. I'm not going to send you roses, and I'm not going to write little hearts. If I say it, my word is my bond. And so you've got to be able to understand that you cannot control things. And yes, you want this romance and whatnot, but people are people and people are different. So you need to embrace the fact that your love may be in a completely different shell than you. And it's really important, but it's really exciting, isn't it, Cancer? And if you're looking to reconcile, it's the same thing. Be patient with it. This is going to be harder for you on the control aspect, because you're going to feel like, well, we should be doing this because this is what we did before. Or we need to be doing this because well, you used to text me all the time. You used to say this. We used to eat at this spot. No, 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 no. This is a new beginning. If you want this, you must be willing to start over and forget your routines, forget the things you did, because that relationship didn't work. So the point is to start a new one that does work. So you don't want to get into the bad habits or be like, well, why isn't he or she calling me as much? Or why? Give it time and be patient. That is what the Strength card is saying. You've got this. You've just got to have the belief in it. Belief in yourself and belief in the other person. Really quick, I'm going to shuffle these. I want to pull a clarifying card for the outcome, and for that beautiful distant future card, the Lovers. I mean, coming into the month, you have the Ace of Cups, one of the best love cards in the deck. And then you have the Lovers, which of course the Lovers and the Two of Cups are probably, you know, the two best cards. And you have the next best, which is the Ace of Cups. So that's pretty amazing. All right, so your outcome, Clarifier's Hermit, which is very ironic. So I was just talking about earth signs, and Virgo, the Hermit card is Virgo. So you have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Could be likely you're dealing with that, and that's why you have to have the strength and the patience, because I love my earth signs. Love, and Virgo, some of my best friends are Virgos, but they can be wearing on you, because especially with water signs, they just are not as lovey-dovey. They're not as mushy as we are. And it's hard, but it doesn't mean they don't feel that way inside. They're just not always good at expressing it. So you could be dealing with a Virgo. But the Hermit card, for clarifying, your outcome is very good, because this is a wisdom. This is saying, let the universe take you where you need to be. Stop trying to make things happen that, or stop trying to, you know what it really is stop trying to, how do I say this? Stop trying to foresee the future or control. Well, if I do this, then maybe they'll be more interested in me. Or if I do this, maybe they'll feel this way. Don't. Know that there's some higher power at play here. Whatever you believe in, God, spirits, gods and goddesses, Buddha, whatever it is, know that the universe has your back right now. And the Hermit is saying so. Like, hey, you don't need to be out there doing something fancy. You don't need to be out there putting on a big show. This person's going to like you for exactly who you are. And that's what's going to be most important. If you're single, it may be good that you're not on the dating sites. It may be good that you are not spending or sparing any time or attention or your emotions or anything on the chaos and drama right now. It may be good to just stay in your man or woman cave and kind of let things happen naturally when you least expect it, right? When you're not looking for it. And people say that, and I get annoyed because I'm like, well, I wasn't looking for it for a year or whatever, and I didn't find it then. And I get that, but it's coming. You know it, I know it. I can feel it, you can feel it. And if you're looking to reconcile, this is the same thing, retreat. So let's say they do communicate, and you guys are talking, retreat a little bit. Don't disappear, but retreat. Don't come on too strong. Let them work for it a little bit. Let them work for it a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying play any games by any means, but I have a feeling this person needs to work for it, and you know they do. So let them work for it a little bit. Don't make them struggle. Don't play games, because then you'll get burnt in the end. But let them work for it a little bit. It's okay to have somebody pay attention to you. It's okay to have somebody who's a little attentive. All right, and then your clarifying card for that beautiful Lovers is the Knight of Wands. And this person is energetic, daring, confident. If you're single, this is who you're going to meet, somebody who is, and again, you have a sword. So it could be that air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but you have a sword here, and this person is on fire, and they're going to make you feel passionate and confident, very secure. And that's how you're going to get to the Lovers, because they're going to put you in a position where you're not second guessing. And even though you might feel defeated, like in the beginning, like you are guessing, like, well, how much does he or she really like me? Because they say they like me, and then I don't hear from them. But it may just take them the time to warm up. They're not as good at it, you know, they're not as good about it as you are. And the Knight of Wands is saying, look, I'm here, I'm charming, but you have to feel daring in yourself. You have to have that confidence, and you have to be willing to just take that leap of faith. I mean, if you are single, this is going to require, to get to that Lovers card, it's going to require you to step out of that need to know the answers and figure things out, and step out of the control aspect. You're going to need to control what you can and let go of what you can't. And the Knight of Wands is very, and I just said swords because I just realized that. I said swords because there's a sword here, so it's not Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is a wand, which is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So, gosh, you've got these signs all over the place, but that's very interesting because the Knight of Wands has a sword in it, and I keep saying Knight of Wands, and then I keep thinking sword. So it could be anybody. But the bottom line is, if you're single, it's going to be this passionate, energetic feeling that's going to come into you that you just haven't seen in a long time. And it's going to feel really amazing. And it's going to get you to the Lovers. But this person who's coming in, they're going to possess the qualities. They're going to be charming, but charming in a genuine way that are going to make you feel that security that water signs kind of need in order to put all of it on the line. Because when water signs love, they love so deeply that they're not giving pieces of their heart. They kind of hand it to you and go, here you go, hope you're careful with it. So yeah, this is amazing, Cancer. If you're looking to reconcile, you're going to feel a confidence that this may actually be the time that you guys get to the end. It's like you knew that you were supposed to be there. They knew that they were supposed to be there. You guys know you have this connection. You know it's there. It's that undeniable connection where your stomach flutters and warms, and it's just this deep, it gives me chills. It's this connection that you know you had. So don't dwell on the what ifs, the whys, who did what to who. Just go for it. Have some confidence in it. I have a feeling this person's going to charm your socks off, Cancer. The cautious me wants to say, just be careful, make sure they're being genuine, but you know that, you guys are adults, you can figure that out on your own. But Cancer, I think this is amazing. I will see you before the beginning of the year. Bye. Have a great December.